What is up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the Cheese Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Brian, and tonight I'm joined with Tennessee Titan diehard Mr1stDown. And tonight we'll be talking NFL Coaching Carousel. It's been going on. A little brief Super Bowl preview between the Seahawks and the Patriots. Some Titans Packers draft needs, good, bad from this last season, and a couple questions football related. Sam, what's up?
Hey, how we doing?
I'm doing. How are you?
Oh, making it. Just getting through this ice storm down here. It's been pretty crazy. So
You guys become gridlocked when ice comes down there?
oh yeah, it gets really bad. We still have over 100,000 people without power in Nashville, which
That
is
sucks.
crazy. Yeah, it totally stinks. But it's all part of it. We haven't had it since 1993, so it was our turn to get doused. So
That's, that's
them
crazy.
proverbial berries. Yeah, I know it was really weird when I looked down the street in my neighborhood, and I just saw trees down all the way down, had cracked and everything, and they had lighting. Hey, Joey, they had the electric crews were stationed at the end of the cul-de-sac, and as soon as a tree would go down and hit a line, they would just drive there, cut it up, fix the line. It was crazy. I've never seen
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
When I
was
was,
our turn.
yeah, I mean, we're used to obviously that weather up here in Wisconsin, but one of the craziest things I experienced was having like total snowfall like over my head, like with the blowing and the drifting and stuff.
Ooh.
There was one stretch from Oshkosh to Green Bay, which is like about an hour drive, but halfway a few years ago, it was snowing so hard, and there was a semi that was jackknife up. It was only two lanes, going each way, and the semi was jackknife up against the guardrail, and I was literally in park for over 2 hours, and snow started to like build up like around my car, and under my car was pavement, but I was lucky I was able to get out of that little whatever you want to call it that I was in. But yeah, weather can be nasty, man. It sucks.
Yeah, it
Especially
does.
especially if you're not used to it.
Oh yeah, we're nowhere near used to that down here. We're like it's 54. We're like it's so chilly outside.
Yeah.
And then and then Florida's getting snow now at the moment from the same storm system. So it's just like, what is going on? So I guess
Yeah.
like this is just everybody's turn to get snow. So
Yeah.
them's the big
Right.
one. Yep.
But it helps a lot of those Wisconsinites in Florida that moved down there when they retire, that this brings them back memories of living in Wisconsin for a
Yeah.
brief couple of days.
Send them all a message saying there is no escape. Once you're cheese, you're all cheese forever, even in the sand.
What? So you guys got a new coach, right? Robert Saleh. What are your thoughts on him?
Uh, First of all, I would say that we're calling him Bob Saleh down here. We like our shortened nicknames. JRM, yeah, hey, how you doing? He sees me on TikTok live quite a bit. He's all right for an Alabama fan. Anyway, so he came down. I mean, first of all, he owned the room. The beat reporters, who are usually a little hard to please, were pleased with the press conference. Pleased that he took the time to meet with them off the record and on the record before and after the press conference. And look, this is January in the NFL, right? If you're not in the playoffs, this is where the hopium flows through your veins. Let the hope flow through you or whatnot. But as far as somebody that's just had an awful season, it was good to see somebody confident. And it was nice for somebody to say, hey, I wanted this job. I could have gone to the Cardinals. I could have gone to the Raiders. I wanted this job. And, it's like, well, it's nice to be one. It was also nice to beat the Eagles, getting Brian Daboll as our OC. So,
Yeah.
I'll take that. That's a win for me.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like the Packers, like I always say, like with LaFleur, like if we would have let him go, we would have regretted it big time. I think
I
when we've seen him at his
over there,
best, huh?
like I was sitting over there, like let him go, do it,
Yeah.
do
No, but you
it.
look at it, it's like, his play calling,
Hmm.
like on offense,
Yeah.
when he's in his bag, he's unstoppable.
Yep.
But but he's just gotta. I don't know what happens in the second half of games, but you gotta you gotta be foot to the throat the whole game. You can't give up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the hard part. Like when he's calling a good game. For instance, a couple years ago against the Cowboys in the playoffs. I mean, we annihilated them, and like we need that like every game of the year. But when he's not calling a good game, oh, he shouldn't have duties to call plays to do this and do that. It's that's what he's there for. It's
Yeah. It's like Jim Carrey in The Mask, right? And he's just punching that guy over and over, and he goes, "I'm winning," and then the guy punches him. It's
my
like
my
finish it.
my biggest frustration is like on fourth and short when you're in the shotgun formation. There's no need for that. I
No.
mean, I don't see what and then on top of that, like there's been I forgot I think it was the Cowboys game or another game after that where it was like a fourth and short, and we had trips to the left in the shotgun formation, and the running back went in motion toward those three receivers, and they blew the play up in the back, behind the line of scrimmage. It's like, come
Yeah.
on, man. It's like a newborn could have recognized that,
Right.
offensive play calling.
Yeah.
But I just think, you know, I think he probably got talked to over this last or over the at the end of the season. I think hopefully that he makes some changes in how he calls plays. Because like I said, when he's calling a good game, we all love him, but when he's bad, we're all like, it's the
Yeah.
end of the world. It's
Yeah.
it's
It was a scary time. I had to be a little bit for Packers fans. You'll never admit you're scared. That's fine. But when all these coaches are dropping like flies around you, and then Matt LaFleur and them hadn't agreed to a deal yet, and I was sitting over there with binoculars going, "Go ahead, make your move." uh, but I mean, think about that. Like, it's crazy. Did you ever think you would see a coaching cycle with 10 job openings? 10 job openings, more than a
well,
quarter.
and
I
the thing is, a lot of these teams they think it's going to be, they're going to go out and they're going to fire their coach, and you're going to go out and get a coach that's going to instantly turn the program around. They want
Mhm.
like a Mike Vrabel effect, from going
Right.
to New England, and it's
Yeah.
not always going to happen. You got to get the right staff around you to support the team.
Yeah. No, I agree. Look, it's a marriage of a bunch of different things, a bunch of different factors. But I mean, you saw it 2 days ago or yesterday. The Vikings just outright fire their GM
Yeah. Oh, I
as
love
he's
it.
scouting players. As he's scouting players.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, I'm sure you do love it. I imagine KOC loves it too,
The,
judging
the
by
money
it.
they spent this last offseason was like $300
Criminal,
million, and
criminal. Hmm.
I feel bad for Jefferson. Like I said before a year or two ago before he signed his extension or his new contract, I said I could see him and Joe Burrow linking up in Cincinnati, and I wish he would go to Cincinnati or just get out of Minnesota. They're,
Oh,
they're
it'd be
not going to
great.
help. They're not going to help him there.
No,
And
well, maybe he grabs the owner by the neck collar and says, "Look at me, I'm captain now,"
yeah,
and goes full Belichick. We'll find out. I mean, they're not
yeah,
hiring a GM till after the draft, so I'm like, okay, like,
yeah,
right, if
yeah.
that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
But
GRM 170 or 1170. Sorry, I'm not sure what I think about Harbaugh going to the Giants. I think he has less talent there than what he had in Baltimore.
I think him going to the Giants. First of all, they had to take him, right, because
Yeah,
we were the next stop on his tour, and reporting. I don't know if it's true or not, but reports were he was going to take the Tennessee job if he left New York. So he's getting on his plane to leave. We're reading everything. The Titans are going to meet him at his house and whatever else. And next thing you know, there's a contract signed almost like by 1 o'clock a.m. the next day. Please, because they had to push their chips in for him. And then the deal took a week to get signed. And then you have to Uh, I mean, they're expecting him to come in there and make an instant impact. And while I do think John Harbaugh is a good coach, in fact, he's a great coach. I still think it's going to take him a second, to get his feet underneath him there. It's not just going to be like everything's great, you know.
Yeah, the one move that I absolutely loved was Mike McCarthy.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, it's
back
always
home.
funny. It's always fun giving him, like give him a hard time and whatnot. But what he did with the Green Bay Packers, obviously he was coach when they won their last Super Bowl.
Right.
People are like, oh, it's in the past. Yeah, it's in the past, but sometimes you got to bring up the past.
Sure.
You
You
know,
know who hates that move? Not me, not you, but the Steelers fans certainly hate it. I've never seen so much belly aching in my life. I was like, wow, geez,
just picture this. Could you imagine McCarthy going there? They bring back Aaron Rodgers for one last run.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah, and they get like 13, 12 wins out of it, and then it'll be like, "Oh, I never doubted it." Oh,
Yeah. I mean, it's a
It
hometown boy living out his dream. He was in tears. I've never heard him crying live on a press conference before. It's like good for him.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
100%. 100%. No, this is a move by them. Now, it's a move that surprised me because the MO is find a young guy that's ready to move up, give him time and let him work cuz I thought it was going to be Chris Shula all the way. They got a 10-year-old version of the last 8. They got a
Tomlin.
10-year-old Tomlin. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it is weird that he is older because, like I said, it doesn't fit the template like they like to do. But I really thought it was going to be Brian Flores, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
And he had that second interview, and I was like, yeah, it's probably the guy right there, him or Chris Shula. So, are you cool with Halfley going to Miami? Everything fine with
yeah,
that? Okay,
I am. I just I mean I like the way he talked in press conferences. The defense kind of fell off the second half of the season for the Packers in a way, mostly because of Micah Parsons. I think getting hurt and Devontae Wyatt being hurt and some other injuries throughout the year, but I think it was just a matter of time. I, you know, even some of the coaches that he brought with him from Green Bay, I think that's a good move too. I think the Packers need to get fresh heads in there. A
sure,
lot a lot of these coordinators that they're getting are either like former head coaches or former defensive coordinators, like pass game specialists or whatever they're getting in there. I'm excited to see. Like I said at the end of the year, I said some people need to be let go, or if that's going with Halfley to Miami or whatever. But I think they got to get some fresh faces in there and you know get some new ideas floating around.
absolutely. Look, people seem to not understand this. They think a good coach is a good coach is a good coach forever, and to some degree they're right. But that doesn't mean the message doesn't get stale every now and then, because it
Yeah,
certainly does. And the great coaches, right? Bill Belichick, how many coaches did he change over constantly? They were leaving for other jobs or anything. Like, it's just how it is. Lions might be in trouble next season since Gibbs and all of them need new contracts. Yeah, look, the league is not made to have continued success, and if you do have continued success, it's because you're playing a very good chess game. Um, who's in big trouble right now cap wise? Minnesota is, the Saints are, and whatever else. So you can pay all your big contracts to those guys, but kicking it down the road eventually, as Brian knows and I know, it will bite you in the butt quite
yeah.
quickly.
And, like even as far as that goes, I think there are some players I think that would come in and play for I'm just saying for like a team that has a Micah Parsons for
Uh huh.
cheaper, knowing that they have Micah and the chance
Oh
to,
sure. Oh
you know what I
sure.
mean? So I think
Yeah.
that's Packers have that to their advantage. I think they did release Trevon Diggs, but I think they're gonna. I think they might possibly try to re-sign him on a cheaper contract, maybe just
Sure.
because him and Parsons are such good friends, and Diggs. You can't look past the years he had in Dallas. I mean, that
You
wasn't a
can't.
fluke. So it's all about getting the right player in the right system around the right coaches. I mean, look at Woodson was good in Oakland. Look what he did when he got to Green Bay. A whole different scene. You go from a busy city life in Oakland. having all these temptations to get into trouble and whatever else off the field and be distracted. Coming to Green Bay, you've been to Green Bay, Sam. There's
Yeah.
not much to do around Green Bay if you look when you go from like a Oakland City
What do you
to
mean?
Green Bay. You know, you go around, doing wine samples and have cheese. It's no, I think Green Bay can change a player. I think you just gotta
Yeah, no, I get it. Like, look, they're storied franchises, right? They're like the Raiders are absolute bottom of the barrel right now. But I mean, I think all of us get a little nostalgic when you hear that voiceover talk about the autumn wind as a Raider and the win
yeah,
baby win era, and Bo Jackson being the most unbelievable player we've seen in quite a while.
right,
And so like, yeah, look, there's prestige to it. There's prestige to a lot of these old teams. I get sentimental about the old uniforms. Like, I love that Tampa Bay creamsicle. I think it is so good. I even love the old logo with the Buccaneer. I was
yeah,
like, why would anyone ever change this?
right.
But yeah, look, Green Bay, storied franchise, one of the first, as I like to call it, football church when I was up there. You got to make the pilgrimage at least a couple of times a year to go up there and see it, because it's a whole new world up there, and
It is.
it's interesting. I still think you need to change that bar name. You can't call the bar a bar. Like, you can't do
Right.
that.
That's
I
the funny
refuse.
part, though.
Yeah.
Where are you going? I'm going to the bar. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Which one? No, I know. I
No,
was
the
on the
bar.
phone. I was on the phone with my cousin. He goes, "Which one?" I'm like, "No, listen to me. I'm at the bar." Who's
Yeah,
on
no,
first?
I
Yeah.
just think that there's just a whole different, like you said, different nostalgic about Green Bay. It's
Sure. Sure.
it's
We walked into
it,
that stadium, no one told us to be quiet. No one said, "Hey, be respectful," or anything like that. You walk in and you see those names from the late 1800s and to the early 1900s, and all the different fan bases. When you walk in and look at that field and look at that stadium, it was like you're at church. Like,
yeah,
people were kind of mumbling, talking, but nobody was yelling, being raucous or anything, because that's the overwhelming feeling you get from being in that stadium. Y'all know, as the Raiders and Cap, they have to pay Max since his contract is. I think Max is gone.
yeah,
I don't think he's sticking around. I think they've um, hurt that poor boy's dreams. And God
yeah,
bless that poor Indiana quarterback, because he's more than likely going to be in silver and black. Can you imagine Mendoza, how go lucky and happy he is on the Vegas Strip? We got to take care of that kid.
yeah.
Oh,
He's gonna be
man.
so vulnerable.
Yeah. Hey, what's this? Hey, don't worry about it.
Yeah. No, I don't know the Raiders. I think getting I can't even think of the running back's name they drafted. Uh,
uh,
Jeanty, Ashton
JT.
Jean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He. How do you think he did this last year?
He didn't do like great. I don't think he's as bad as everybody says he is. I also think the team around him was not great. It's kind of like us with Cam Ward. The team was so bad that you didn't, until after the bye week, when everybody started to get their heads out of their butts and fire the head coach and get things together. Is the most fitting.
Pavia is not the answer, man. No
No,
way.
no, he's talking attitude wise. Now,
Uh,
that's true. Pavia, attitude wise, would be perfect for Vegas. But listen, that guy's not a quarterback in the NFL. You can't convince me that he's a
that
quarterback.
guy's worse than Johnny Manziel.
I know, and that's his mentor. Johnny Manziel's on Vanderbilt's sidelines
Yeah,
or whatever. Like, there's
yeah,
not another reason. Yeah,
yeah.
we know what you meant, JRM. We're smart cookies every now. We've had our Dr. Peppers. We're ready. We're
Yeah.
ready. We're
No,
gonna make it.
I think like in a nutshell, I think the Packers they started off hot. They had
Yeah.
some good wins early on. Um, Jaden Reed got hurt in week 2, which I think was kind of a blessing in disguise because he had that Jones fracture in his foot, so he
Mm-hmm.
can get them both. He can get his broken collarbone and his foot, and recover from both of them from the one injury. But then you had Devontae White broke his leg, and Parsons obviously went out, and you had some other pieces to go out. And I think once you lost Parsons, I always talk about the defensive pressure, how quick you get to the quarterback makes your team, that much better. When you can get to the quarterback in under 3 seconds, you had Nixon and Valentine looking like all pros out there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But then
yeah.
once Parsons went out, it was a whole different story. And then you're paying Rashawn Gary $20+ million a year to go out there, and he
Walk.
got 7.5 sacks. But that's when Parsons was playing. And once Parsons
Right.
went away, they gotta make up their mind on him. They can get younger talent, and they're paying him a lot less money than what they're paying Rashawn Gary to do the same exact thing he was doing, if not better. So I
Younger
just think they
talent,
got,
younger
yeah. I
talent with
mean,
good depth pieces,
Barron Sorrell, they got Colin Oliver that didn't get much playing time, but they're calling Colin Oliver like a baby Micah. That's what they're comparing him to. So if that's the case, and you can get him cheaper, if you can get Lucas Van Ness to get a fire under his butt, and get some production out of your younger guys, and maybe bring in a veteran or two on that line. I think the draft this year is going to be heavy on defense. You know,
Yeah, this is a good draft to do defense. Plenty of good talent there, even later rounds in the first, be it edge, be it cornerback, anything like that. Are you guys going to keep Romeo Dobbs? You think he walks?
um, I honestly, I could see him going to Miami with
Uh-huh.
Halfley,
Yeah.
and I could see Malik Willis going down there too.
Shoo, man, goodness. I
Could
mean,
you
Malik.
imagine?
Yeah, I can't, but I can see it. That's like the Texas D line and how much pressure. Yeah, yeah, no joke. They were number one defense for a reason. They were
Yeah.
monsters. Um, but yeah, I could see him go to Miami. I kind of my first thought was that Malik Willis is going to be in a Cardinals jersey, because everything's falling apart there. But Miami makes a lot of sense. Can you imagine? Like you're sitting there in Miami and you're paying what is Tua getting paid next year? Like $38 million
A lot,
just
because him and
just
Love and somebody else all got contracts the same year.
T Law. It was Trevor Lawrence, I think.
Yep.
And and you're sitting Tua down, and I'm like, that's like a big bag of money just sitting there on the bench doing absolutely nothing. And I'm just like, man, I don't know what do you do. But I think they're going to have to pull Russell Wilson like Denver did and just eat it, cut him and
Yeah.
eat it. Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I mean, I don't know. It'd be nice to have Romeo, but from the sounds of it, I think he's gonna go. We're not gonna be able to afford. At some point, you gotta just let it be.
Yeah, yeah,
We're gonna
yeah.
have Christian Watson. He's healthy. He's a true. I think he's a true number one when he's healthy.
He is.
They got Golden and Reed and Wicks. I think they're still a decent four receivers on offense to throw the ball to.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, I mean, all the decisions need to be made. How much is Waddle getting paid? Don't mind. Not enough. And if he ever leaves, I will gladly take him. I mean, I'll take anybody. I would kind of like Alec Pierce from the Colts, though. I
Now,
think.
when he says Waddle, is he talking about how Rashawn Gary pursues the quarterback?
No, he isn't. He's not talking
Uh,
about Gary strolling into the backfield like West Side Story.
yeah,
Yeah, those videos were so funny when you posted them. I couldn't help but laugh. I was like,
yeah. No, it's
uh,
crazy. I don't know if Malik and Romeo end up on the same team. It'd be kind of nice, though. I think.
yeah, no, it'd be
You
great.
know.
Then he would have a guy, right? He has a guy
Yeah,
he knows. He has a guy that he's passed to before. You know, it,
yeah. I'm just
it,
I'm just curious
it
to see who the Packers are going to have as their backup quarterback
yeah, I mean,
this next year.
yeah, I mean, the Corvette market is absolute trash. There is everybody that can manage a football game is signed to a big long contract. I mean, if you're a guy like Jacoby Brissett, you get to sit there, ride the bench, and make absolute bank
Yeah,
just because you're not going to throw a late round interception. You're going to just manage the football game.
yeah,
Joe Flacco's the same way. He made a bunch of money with Cleveland, then he gets shipped off to Cincinnati and makes even more money.
yeah,
And but what is he doing? Nothing crazy, just managing a clock, making sure everything is rolling. So
yeah.
it's the quarterback market is a problem, and I don't really rightly know how you fix it.
Maybe the quarterback whisperer and Matt LaFleur can get some value out of Desmond Ritter.
Oh, you said the buzzword quarterback whisperer, offensive guru, quarterback whisperer, defensive mastermind. You know, everybody always labels these guys everything. It's so
Yeah,
funny.
no, I don't know. I think quarterbacks seem to have a good history in Green Bay. So I think
Yes,
if you get a good solid starter and you get someone for a couple of years to study behind them, they're going to be good coming out no matter where they go. I know he signed Kyle McCord to a futures contract. You know, the old Ohio State and Syracuse Orangeman quarterback that whatever. I mean, he was decent in college. So, I mean, you never know what he could do in the NFL. It's just a matter
yeah,
of, like I said, it matters in like what team you go to and what coaches you have around you. You know,
right, yeah,
to make you get the most out of you. You know,
yeah. No,
but
I'm with you. You got to have somebody that's pushing all the time. There is no one bigger than the team, and if you want to be on the team, you're gonna have to play the way we need you to play.
yeah,
That's the president said. That's one thing Robert Saleh laid down the law when he got here. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to be about. If you're not about it, get out.
yep,
That's that's how you have to do it. So
yeah. Yeah, I think the Packers. I think they're gonna, obviously, I think they're gonna lose some of their linemen, but you can always draft linemen. You know,
yeah, no, look, linemen are a pretty safe bet in the NFL. We've had some more trouble with them now thanks to these college systems, but they're still a decent bet. What is y'all's reaction when Belichick not get? It's a silly, silly thing. I don't know what the Hall of Fame's doing. This is a black eye, in my opinion. It's just
when I got the news, I was honestly deflated. Yeah.
Oh
Uh,
man, he should have gotten in. I mean, there's this. We're 59 Super Bowls. He has eight. He has eight uh, rings. Six of them as a head coach, two as a coordinator. Um, if you're talking about Gates and everything, go look at what Bill Walsh used to do with the 49ers. Go look at what Mike Ditka used to do with the Bears. There's always been these little incidents of cheating and
yeah,
everything until people stop getting away with it.
yeah,
Right. And that's just how it is. All the old coaches, Jeff Fisher used to do things like that. I'm sure Holmgren had a few tricks up his sleeve. Maybe
yeah,
not to the point of recording the Cincinnati Bengals for some reason. Uh, but like maybe they did, but it was just it's absolutely silly not to have him. He's obviously a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's a silly thing. He almost got fired before starting Brady. Then he saw what happened without Brady. Brady was the main reason he was successful. Brady said himself that he needed Bill Belichick, and I agree with that. Brady has nothing to lose by. I mean, Brady can say whatever he wants now. Like nobody's going to stop him. And Brady said he needed him, and I would definitely say Bill Belichick. What first 3 years, Brian, with Tom Brady when he wasn't the superb passer as we know him. I mean, first 3 years it was pretty much Patriots defense as far as I'm concerned.
yeah,
Um, you know, uh, that's how I view it. But hey, look, the guy gets the credit. He was the head coach of the team. He made them successful, very successful, and he
yeah.
deserves to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, it's funny. It brings me back to like I remember back when the Packers, I think in 2010, when Roddy White was saying something like James Jones is just a system receiver or whatever.
Oh Lord,
And
bulletin board,
and they just went out and lit the Falcons up, but
right?
like I said, even like, you look at, who made who. I go back to Aaron Rodgers and Greg Jennings. Greg Jennings, once he left Green Bay, had nothing but, crap to say about. He referred to Aaron as 12. He wouldn't say his name. He said 12, and he went to the Vikings and then the Dolphins, and once he left Green Bay, he was nobody. You know what I
Hey,
mean? So you gotta
yeah,
think of who got you those contracts. Who was throwing you the ball. Obviously, he was running routes to get open, but you need to have a smart quarterback getting you the ball too.
Yeah, no, like exactly. And that's the problem because some of those guys who act that way are voting in the Hall of Fame. Well, I'm not letting Bill in. I'm not letting
Yeah,
Bill in on this first ballot. And it's
yeah,
like, well, that's real mature. Hall of Fame's supposed to be beyond reproach, but I think Dan Patrick said it best. All right, that's what you want to believe. You better not let Brady in either. So, like,
yeah,
if you're gonna draw that line in the sand, then keep the same energy then when it comes your way. So
yeah. What are some of the good and some of the bad from the Titans this last season that you
boy,
can think of off
guess
the top of your head?
crap in one hand and pee in the other, right?
Right.
Uh, so the bad is we made the wrong hire at head coach. The good was you hired a damn good GM. And he comes in from Kansas City as the assistant GM. And fun story here, and this would actually come into play later. Chad Brinker, your former analytics guy, became our president of football operations, assistant analytics, something along those lines. And he, we fire Rand Carthon, and he kind of it falls in his lap to go find the GM. So Sullivan, the guy that just got hired in Miami, was the surefire choice. There were people already saying Sullivan was coming to the Titans. It was a done deal. But he had one more interview, and it was Mike Borgonzi from Kansas City. And he said it was the hardest phone call he ever had to make because he had to call Sullivan and say, I'm hiring Mike Borgonzi. I'm sorry, bud. I think he's just better. DK good, Simmons good, GM good. Everything else is bad. That's fair. So he doesn't hire his friend, and he tells Mike Borgonzi this, like, "Hey, I hired you over the guy that I completely trust, so don't let me down." Fast forward to when we're looking for a coach. There's Matt Nagy, has a relationship with Mike Borgonzi, right? And there he is, and I'm like, "Oh God, here we go."
You don't
Like,
need Matt Nagy.
right. So who's the last interview? Robert Sala. Robert Sala comes in, blows the doors off the place in an interview. And what does Mike Borgonzi have to do? He has to call his friend Matt Nagy and say, sorry, bud. Sorry, Mario, your princess is in another castle. The only sad part is if you're a fan of Matt Nagy, I don't know where that other castle is because he hasn't gotten a job yet anywhere.
Yeah,
So, so I feel fairly competent. The draft class was really good last year. If you can nail this draft, and Robert Sala is deserving of a second chance from the Jets, like we all pray to merciful God is true. Um, then you know what? We're going to win more than 3 games next year, and won't that be lovely?
yeah. I liked it last year when he was in. He was like a consultant for the Packers for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, him and LaFleur are like good friends or
They were
whatever.
they
So
were in each other's wedding. Mhm.
yeah.
Yep. I'm not
So
shocked by that at all. Bob Sala came in, looked like Mr. Clean, as your illustrations have shown me. He also looks like Xerxes from the 300 movie, which is kind of funny. I didn't notice it until I was looking. I was like, he does. But yeah, no, it's just at some point, like I can talk about it all day, but at some point you just kind of have to be cut and dry about it and look at it and say, well, why the hell not? Right. I mean, what have we got to lose? So give it a shot. Anything's better than what we've been doing. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm excited for fresh ideas, fresh faces for the
yeah,
Packers. It's obviously what we had wasn't cutting it. Um, you know, it is
right.
what it is.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's just it stinks being bad, but it also stinks because I was picking first last year, and yet I had to play all the top 10 defenses, sometimes twice, uh, at the beginning of the year, and I'm like, well, what? How is this fair? Like, um, but it's just what it is. Do you know who you're drafting? Where are you drafting, by the way?
We're not in the first round this year, so
Oh yeah, you
um, I have
Dallas.
no I, I have no idea. Let me
Cool.
look here quick.
I'm drafting.
Probably
I'm drafting number 4, and everybody has Everybody already has a defensive end there. Some people have Jeremiah Love there. I'm not so sure. I think it's going to be somebody nobody expects, like a Caleb Downs or something.
Yeah.
That's
Pick
what I
number
think.
52.
Hey, all right. Well, it's okay. You just have to wait a little while. At least you're not traveling to Pittsburgh, like me. I'm just like, cool. See you later. While my Colts cousin stands there, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go grab some food and let me know when you're done.
No,
Oh,
I think the Packers. I think they're. I'd like to see them draft D line and corner
yeah.
early, and then probably about mid draft go with linemen. I like that lineman out of was it Iowa with the
Oh,
mullet?
yeah. The mullet. Yeah,
The
that
guy's
guy's
like
ridiculous.
freaking. The guy's like
He looks like a
Hercules
tank.
out there.
He's a freaking tank out there.
He's
I
like
mean,
that Quinn
huge,
Miners on Denver.
huge.
He's from Wisconsin. He played at Whitewater, UW
Oh
Whitewater.
man.
Yeah,
They fed him right. Goodness
yeah.
gracious.
But like I said, I'm just obviously what we had this last year. Obviously, if we all would have stayed healthy, it would have been a different story. But
Sure.
it's part of the game is injuries, and it's all about
Yep.
how you bounce back. You know what I mean? So you get Micah back. I think he has more of a fire under his ass this next year. He's probably going to have a. I hope he has a record-breaking year. You know what I mean? I hope
Yeah.
he comes back and just just lights it up, and then you get
Just
Devontae Wyatt back on that line, and you get somebody opposite of Micah, and just causing constant pressure. This last year for the Packers, Sam, is the hardest I've seen that defense hit in a
mm-hmm.
long time. I mean, when that play against the Bears, where Quay Walker met whatever number 23 was at the line of scrimmage, and
Yeah,
like
whack.
Adrian Wilson or Adrian Cooper, when he like went down, but he stuck with the tackle. That was a hard hit, and
Mm.
I mean, in this the pursuit and the swarm to the ball and gang tackling, and they just got to get in that backfield. They're like probably in the last. Probably last in the NFL in sacks. They're just terrible. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
not like that's not a Packers defense. That's you know
You're supposed to be sturdy.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be starting. You're not supposed to be in the last 10 in sacks and defense. That's absolutely freaking terrible. And to not be creative on how to get guys to the quarterback. I mean, do some exotic blitzes. Get blitz the safety, blitz. Do
Right.
something.
Send
I
it
don't know.
on the outside, anything.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you saw that there's. I mean, you had Micah getting triple team. Where are the other two guys that aren't getting picked up at? You know what
Right.
I mean?
Yeah. Why are you guys not getting through? Like, what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
What are we doing here? Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. It's frustrating. I still remember Jerry Jones said they had the 28th pick because they were the 28th best team. Lord have mercy.
Hey,
Oh, Jerry. Oh, Jerry. Oh, Jerry. We've had some fun with some owners already, haven't we? Right? We got crazy Jerry in Dallas. Then we have the Bills owner throwing the coaching staff under the bus and then hiring the offensive coordinator of the coaching staff to coach the Bills. It's man, just crazy out there. Those Packers fans though, those are some crazy owners. I tell you what.
I know, right? No, and people are going crazy about who the Packers hired for the defensive coordinator too.
Oh, are they? Who is it? They hire somebody already?
That guy from Buffalo. I can't think of his name, but
Oh, okay. I didn't even know they hired somebody. It didn't come across my phone. Maybe I was too busy yelling
Babbage. Is it Babbage?
Babbage. Maybe I was yelling too much about the Royal Rumble to see the hire. I don't
Yeah,
know.
freaking Triple H.
Come on, man.
I was watching that too.
Roman Reigns again. This is like when you make meatloaf like 3 times in a week. It's like, come on. You got to have another like recipe up your sleeve here.
Yeah, no, it was Bobby Babbage.
Bobby Babbage.
But they had
It sounds
like
like
a top 7 defense.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not good
So,
enough for Buffalo. Not good enough. Sean McDermott, not good enough. Won a bunch of playoff games. Not good enough in Buffalo.
yep.
So
They didn't have to play Kansas City. Granted, Kansas City didn't make the playoffs, but the one year they didn't play Kansas City. they and they get further than what whatever they fire him. But even going back to that, I mean, you got one game, one night, or one day where that catch was ruled an interception,
Mm-hmm.
and the next game the same thing happened and they ruled it a catch. So what?
Yeah,
What?
I don't know. Everybody has looked over that play, and like former players are staking their careers on it. And it's a catch. It's not a catch. Blah 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 blah. Look, the bottom line is this, and you and I are old football heads. It should never have come down to that play. You threw
Right.
4 interceptions in that game. You gave them a 10-point swing before halftime. That's why you lost.
Yeah.
Anything else? Why Roman and Liv has just gone. Well, at least Liv hasn't won it. She's been a runner up before, but she hasn't won it. Roman, I've seen this movie already. 6
Yeah.
years in a row, Bills couldn't make it to the Super Bowl. Well, I think the issue is it wasn't Sean McDermott. I'll tell you that much. I mean, that guy was winning playoff games left and right, but for some reason, didn't happen. Just don't blame Josh Allen. I guess I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, like you mentioned too, Sam. You shouldn't have been in this situation in the first place. You know
Yeah,
what I
just
mean?
try. Don't throw 4 interceptions.
You want to talk about swings? Look at the Packers against Dallas this year.
Mm-hmm.
Block extra point or whatever it was, and they ran it back. That was a whole momentum swing right there
Oh yeah,
for the rest of the game. And then people are like, "Well, Jordan Love." It's like Jordan Love was a key part of them scoring 40 points that game, but he wasn't a key part of giving up 40 points. So
no.
what didn't he do to win that game? Yeah, granted against Cleveland he had a couple of bad plays, but when it came down to crunch time to
Mm-hmm.
drive the team down and get in the field goal range to win the game,
Mm-hmm.
only to have it blocked, that
Right,
wasn't his fault. You know what I
right.
mean?
He already did his job. Somebody else
Yeah.
didn't do theirs. And look, there's always woulda, shoulda, coulda after
Yep.
everything, right? The pie, when you lose, the pie is distributed, right? Some people get bigger parts of the pie. That's just the nature of the business. Always has been, always will be. If people don't want to admit it, oh, we lost as a team. We know when that locker room door shut and the cameras are out of there, y'all are chewing each other's butts over
Yeah.
who screwed that up. Maybe the seventh try. JRM, shame on you. So mean. Anyway, so
Yeah.
but yeah, no, you look at the playoffs, right? And like the Patriots, you have Drake May who hasn't played well in the playoffs, but he's somehow getting through these games with a good defense, and Houston coughing up the ball over and over again. I mean, eight turnovers that game, 4 by May and 4 by CJ Stroud. Like absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. You get to Buffalo and Sean Payton inexcusably just doesn't kick field goals before the snow starts falling down. And it's like, I don't understand. There's nobody in your ear going, "Hey, dude, you might want to get points while you can. There's a blizzard a coming. Do you guys not watch the weather? Like, what are we doing over there in Denver?" But here comes Mike Vrabel and the Fighting Patriots. Now you got Sam Darnold, right? Sam Darnold and the brilliant Seahawks. We'll see which defense bends their will and wins the game, because I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be
Who,
ugly.
who do you have winning next
I
Sunday?
I only have Seahawks. I think it's going to be a very close game, but I think there's going to be a play somewhere that flips it in the Seahawks corner. I've learned to run the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, goodness.
Yeah.
Don't throw a slant, Sam Darnold. No
You
matter
don't
what
think
the
they
play
have? You don't think Marshawn Lloyd's or Marshawn Lynch is in the coach's ear? Do you?
No, gee whiz. Horrible. But
Yeah.
no, I think the Seahawks have a better roster. They're not too much better than the Patriots, but they're better off, I think. Younger, faster, stronger. I think that's going to turn the tide here. But I think there's going to be a play in there by JSN somewhere. There's going to be like he'll be
Oh my
quiet.
God.
He'll be quiet all game. And can't you just see it into the third quarter? There's like a 50-yard bomb that he somehow snatches. Like it just makes too much sense.
Yeah. Then it'll be all over social media. Oh, look what the Packers passed up on the draft, Lucas Van Ness.
It's always something. Why did we pick this guy and this guy? Well, we evaluated, and that's the guy we picked. Well, that's not good enough. Blah
No,
blah blah. Like
I'm not sure who I want to win. I just know what's pretty cool fact about the Super Bowl is both the GMs for the Seahawks and the Patriots are from like Green Bay area, De Pere area.
Oh, I didn't
So
know.
Elliot Wolf is Ron Wolf's grandkid,
Oh, cool. I did. That's cool.
and who's the other one? Schneider. He's from.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he went to Green Bay, Notre Dame, or something like that, which is
I believe that
a
is
Catholic
correct.
school in Green Bay. So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. They're both legit from Green Bay. They're both were in the Packers front office.
And
Um,
how good is Schneider, right? That guy
yeah,
goes ahead and builds the Legion of Boom. They get one Super Bowl out of it, and let's be honest, they could have had more. Like running it at the goal line, could have had more. Um, Everything falls apart with Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. And what does he do? He finds the next coach and makes it work with the whole new team. It's crazy. JSN versus Gonzo is going to be a matchup to watch. Oh, for sure. I just think there's going to be some big play that's going to be given up somewhere that flips it towards the Seahawks. And we'll see how it is. I mean, the Seahawks, what they cannot afford is Sam Darnold to start seeing ghosts again, like he did with the Jets. You cannot see ghosts. You've got to play this game. Keep your head in the game and don't make the horrible mistake. That's what it comes down to. Because I think this is going to be a defensive, nasty game. Lots of field goals, if any.
yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. I think when it comes down to it, I want the Seahawks to win, just because they're. I mean, they're NFC. Might as well
Sure.
go for them, right?
Right.
So
Yeah, as well.
you know, yeah. So you're going
Who?
to Pittsburgh this year, huh?
Uh huh. Oh, yeah. Can't wait for all the yellow towels in my face. It's going to be
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I can't wait.
Terrible towels.
Yeah, well, they'll see how I'm dressed up and be like, "Oh, good God, they
Yeah.
exist."
So I've been seeing a lot of like conversations around about um roof, no roof. What are your thoughts on that?
On what?
The roof or no roof on stadiums?
I wish we had no roof on it, but I also understand that Nashville wants to be able to throw a concert anytime, no matter what the weather is outside. So I understand the roof. I would rather have no roof because I think football is meant to be played in the rain, snow, and everything. Not great conditions. I mean, think about it. Like one of the best video shots I've ever seen was you had the Cowboys with DeMarcus Ware, and I think you had the Saints on the other side. And one of the shots of the camera, and you just see the breath poofing out of both of those linemen. So it's like
Yep.
bulls charging at each other. That's football, right? You're going to lose that, and I'm very shocked that the Bills do not have a top on that stadium. I'm very shocked about that.
Yeah.
But because they're the ones that get like 80 feet of snow and whatnot, and I'm like, y'all are crazy. But I wish we could all have no roofs, but unfortunately, them's the berries, and I got to deal with it. But it is going to be nice to see a concert there and everything. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like the elements. That's what football is. It's how we were. When we were growing up, very few teams had domes. You know what I mean? And
oh yeah, yeah,
you always wanted to, in youth football and high school football, playing in the rain, playing in the snow was awesome. It was so fun.
it
But
was.
and even like now, you got teams that the weather's going to affect them. Well, I mean, you got people forget they went to college and they played in the elements, depending on where they went to college.
Yes.
And nothing like a snow game or
Oh yeah,
in Green Bay. It's just like
football weather.
a cathedral. It's football. It's Green
Yeah,
Bay. The frozen tundra and snow and
wear your
whatnot. So
warm boots. Let's go.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm in.
yeah.
I'm about
So
it.
what are your thoughts on the potential of the Bears moving to Indiana?
I am dumbfounded that, like, say what you want. Like, I get it. You two hate each other. It's the oldest rivalry or whatever. But I respect history. I respect Lambeau. I respect Soldier Field. That has a lot of history in it. And you are really going to move to a different state? And I think it's an hour away from Chicago. Like, I think people go to these games against the Bears and stuff like that because they want to experience the big city of Chicago, see the bean and all
Yeah.
of that. And you are just gonna move it to Gary, Indiana? Gary, Indiana. I'm stunned. I don't understand. It just feels to me like if Lambeau Field is still standing, how can we not make Soldier Field still standing? It's
Yeah. So
dumbfounding.
I just put in Bears to Indiana on my computer, and it says as of January 2026, Indiana is actively pursuing relocation of the Chicago Bears, with state senators passing legislation on January 28th to create a stadium authority for a potential new home in Northwest Indiana. The proposed deal includes 3 potential lakefront sites, including near the Hard Rock Casino in Gary. Gary,
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Ugh.
Oh my god. Well, yeah,
This
it's just the Bears.
I don't get it. I just don't. It doesn't
It'd
make
be
sense.
it'd move them 40 miles east of their historic home at Soldier Field.
Oh my gosh.
But and that's the thing too is if you go back and you read some stuff on history, like the Packers staying in Green Bay was like George Hallis had a big say in that. He's like the Packers, Green Bay as football, they should stay there. They shouldn't move, and they
Right.
haven't moved.
Right.
So I
Like I said, if Lambeau Field's still standing, why can't we just retrofit Soldier Field? What am I missing here? Like what
yeah.
why move it out of Chicago? Right? Like what's it's not like, that was Henry's first game against the Ravens against the Bills. He wasn't used to the snow, grew up in Florida, played the greatest college football team in Alabama and college, then for Tennessee. Yeah. Oh well. I mean, you get used to it, unfortunately. Stafford has struggled being outside, which is a little shocking to me. But I still can't believe it's going to Gary, Indiana. Just thinking about that just seems so wrong to me.
The Gare Bears.
Oh,
No,
geez.
so we were in Westfield, Indiana this last summer. My daughter had a lacrosse tournament, and like there's like you have like a split second to react to traffic once you're in that
Oh, yeah.
busy whatever, and we accidentally I was trying to like compare like my wife's the GPS on her van to my phone just to kind of whatever, and she's like, "Which way?" I said, go right," And that's a big mistake. We ended up going through Gary, Indiana. Oh
Ooh,
my god!
yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
then and then it's hard too because there's like 6 lanes of traffic and there's people driving like freaking raped apes and
Oh, yeah.
it's just and we get to another part and we ended up having to take the scenic we go through like downtown Chicago and buy like one toll was like $13, the other one was like 8. It's like, oh my god.
Right.
but
Miserable.
but I would hate the commute. I'd even hate to go to a game in that city because there's just so much everything. Green
Right.
Bay, you just go find someone's front yard and pay $30 and park in their yard, or for me, I just have my wife drop me off and pick me up. So
Right.
I'm just lucky not to deal with that crap anymore. But yeah, just to see a team like that, the potential of moving 40 miles east of, it's just I find it comical. It's fitting.
I do too. I just I if I'm a Bears fan, I am like calling whoever I need to call with a survey and everything that says, or whatever it's called, and just say, we can't move to Gary, Indiana. This is so wrong.
I
Like,
wonder. I wonder how many Fairweather Bears fans would become Packer fans if that
oh,
happened.
they will not openly say so, but maybe the Facebook picture changes and they say they lost a bet, but they don't change it back. You know, some
Sir,
people.
why are you donating all the Chicago stuff to Goodwill? Well, because I'm a Packer fan now.
I did that all the time. There's always like there's like the one guy in every fan base. I'm so done with this team or whatever, and I'm like, cool. Can I have your stuff? Like you better better go to me than that somebody that's going to use it or whatever. And
Yeah.
then and then they'll win a game or something. It's like I never doubted them. It's like, but get on or off the bus, bro. Like
Yeah.
whichever one it is.
I'll never fall off the bus.
No, I
I'm
mean,
on it for
I
good. I'm
haven't
on it for
fallen.
good.
if I haven't fallen off yet, I'm probably not falling off at this point.
Hey, I've been on the bus for 30 plus. Well, I'll be 44 in May, but obviously, when you're young, you don't realize what the hell is going on. So I'd say about 37, 38 years. Been a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Seen 2 Super Bowls. That's 2 more than most can say. So I've been pretty fortunate to see that and to see the checkered the history of the Packers and whatnot. It's awesome. Going into this off season, what the season's still going on, obviously, with the Super Bowl next weekend. What do you look forward to most going into this new season, kind of with a whole new staff?
There's gonna be a little moment of sadness. I'm definitely gonna be emotional because I grew up in that stadium in Nashville, and it's going away. They're gonna blow it up, so that's gonna be hard to see. A Music City Miracles there. I've seen many an overtime win there. It's not all bad memories. There are people I used to go to games with that are no longer alive anymore that we went to games there. Big awesome tailgates, making friends, all these things. The old girl's going away. The new girl's being built. She's almost done. So, me too, JRM, for better or worse. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to a farewell tour. I'm also kind of sad that it's going away, but I get it. And but I'm looking forward to Robert Sala, for God's sake, somebody that has a pulse running this team. Who would have thought it? You know, I'm looking forward to Cam Ward building upon. Let's see, at the end of the season, 5 more games, 7. I can't remember. 7 more games after the bye week, went 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. I want more. I want more. I'm ready to see another draft class come to fruition here. I'm ready, to start taking steps of being good. And by God, they want to be good in 2027, right in time for that stadium to open up. So it's there's a lot of things that, like I said, hopium is running through my veins right now in January. We'll see where
Yeah.
we are in September.
That's
So
awesome. I'm kind of like you. Obviously, not obviously, but the Packers had a better season than Tennessee.
sure.
I think for me, you can tell by like my post that I was like super pumped beginning of the season, kind of mid season, like and then the injuries came. And it's just like
Mhm.
just get this season over with. This fresh start, come back next year, come back healthy. Do whatever you got to do in the front office. Shuffle whatever players you got to trade, sign, whatever, release, and just come back with a fresh start. Like I
Yeah.
like you tell the kids, like I tell my kids in basketball, next play you make a mistake, it's coachable. Next play,
Yeah.
next game, next
It's
play,
over.
just
Yeah.
short. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's done. It's
Yeah,
time for the next one. Yeah,
yeah.
it's how everything is, right? It's over.
So
On
I'm
with
just
it.
excited, for I know Ed Policy with his old man being Carmen Policy with the Niners. I know he has the brains to run a franchise. You know what I mean? You gotta have faith in the front office. Some people might not like what's going on, but then those are the ones that are quiet when things are going good. You know what I mean? So
100%. 100%.
um, I'm just excited. I think LaFleur is a good young coach. I think he's got to surround him with guys that are like minded. I like the fact that they're getting either old D coordinators for smaller roles or old offensive minded people for smaller roles. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're hiring a former head coach as your like John Gannon, and you got Babbage, and it's just I think they're doing the right moves. It's kind of nice to see some of the staff go with, like I said, other coaches because obviously what we had this last year wasn't good enough, and you always want to have the best in your mind that you
Sure.
can get this out there. So I mean, I'm excited for a new year. I'm past. I don't let the outcomes of the season really affect me anymore. As far as like just like not that's just like tuning out sports talk radio or
Oh
just
yeah.
tuning out. I used to be like that, and that was back when I drank. I think it was more because I regretted drinking so much the night before that I just was mad at myself for that as well. But I'm just excited for a new year, like you.
Right.
You got a new coach, solid. I think he's going to be a good dude for you guys, and you guys are going to like him. He's kind of like a he's kind of like a Vrabel in a way. You know what I mean? He's got that
Yeah,
mentality, and he's
he's
no BS, and
right. He's easy to like.
yeah,
He's a very intense guy. You can tell that. I mean, look at him on the sidelines, for heaven's sake.
yeah,
He's going to blow a gasket sometimes or have a heart attack.
yeah,
But he says fun things like the quote. I think my favorite quote was, "I want people watching us in their living room to feel us." I was like, "Oh my god, that's amazing." But
yeah,
my favorite thing he said, he's like, "So what? How is this defense going to be run?" And he goes, "We're going to play our game and talk a little shit." That's what he said.
yeah.
I was like, "Hey, I'm about this." Like,
That's what you got to do too. Like one thing, sorry to cut you off. One thing
no,
that
you're fine.
it's just what I saw this year is like against Denver when they pushed Jordan Love's head in the ground, no one came to his
Nobody
defense.
came to defend. Yeah,
When he got those shots from in Chicago, no one came to his defense. If that
right.
would have been like T.J. Lang or Josh Sitton or Mark Tauscher or any of those guys that blocked for Favre or Rodgers, there would have been full out brawls.
Oh yeah,
So they've
yeah,
got to get that mentality that hey, he's our leader. He goes, we go.
right.
You know what I mean.
Yeah,
He's the pulse of the team. If it's you got to protect your quarterback. You got to stick up for him. And I still think those shots from Chicago, I think those are dirty, and that's the way it is. If they weren't dirty, he wouldn't have gotten fined for it. That's just how I
100%.
look at it.
100%.
Um,
No joke. No doubt about it
but
in my mind.
yeah, no, I'm just excited for a new start, a new fresh start, healthy start. Get guys back there, and
We'll get draft, and then we'll get a schedule release, and then OTA start happening. And once that starts happening, it'll get closer and closer.
before you know it, it'll be football season again. So
What do you mean I'm busy next Sunday? Well, it's September. Oh, oh.
yeah, so yeah, tell people where they can find you out on socials.
You can find me right here where it says my name at Mr1stDown on Twitter. I'm at Fanboys Unleashed on TikTok. I'm also on Fanboys Unleashed on Instagram and the Fanboys Unleashed Facebook page, which is the Brian's Cheese Talk Pod's little brother as it comes to pages, because I just kind of hold on to his coattails for dear life as he keeps climbing rocket launching and getting 400 people. I'm like, wow, that's cool. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I love making content, so it's fun and
that's what it's all about. Everybody always tries to find the hack way. It's not. It's just making stuff and putting it out there. That's all.
Yeah, it's a true, genuine way of doing it, and
right. Just work. It's work. People
yeah,
want to do it.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Open Network, Iowa Joe, and everybody for giving me the platform to do the podcast under the Open Network. You see here in the top, other direction, that corner, right? Yeah, that corner.
What corner? Up there?
That corner for giving me the platform to podcast. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on pretty much any social platform. If you go to my Twitter page, I still call it Twitter, yes. If you go into my profile, my link tree is in my profile.
I will add my link tree.
And you click on that, then all my links come up to go follow me. So yeah, come follow, interact. It's fun. So Sam, I want to thank you for taking time out to be on tonight. I might hop on your TikTok live here later on. Gotta go get my dogs put in their kennels. They've been barking all episode long. So
that's let them go pee. I'm also going pee after this. So this great guys think alike.
Yeah, thanks again, and I'll be in touch, and I'll get you back on later on. Maybe I can come on your show and
we'll do it before draft talk, before I head into the Pittsburgh den of lions.
Yeah, the steel curtain.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt really bad.
But yeah, no, I'm happy for Mike McCarthy. I really am. I think he's going to do a good job there, and I think hopefully Aaron can be successful there if he comes back. So,
yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thanks again, buddy. Appreciate it, and have a good rest of your night, and we'll be in touch.
Yep. See you, buddy. Let's have a good one.
You as well. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.